Good evening and welcome back to Canon Chatter TV tonight. Very, very, very special show. Myself and my co-host, Georgina, we are going to be talking about the road to Australia Stadium for the World Cup in 2023. We've got the qualifiers at the moment and it's a very, very exciting time, isn't it, G?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're proper getting into it as well. And now I feel like I've watched the internationals over the couple of years more than like the club, because it was obviously on TV, more accessible. And it's always been really exciting and boosts the league. So now that we're all like catching up completely, it's like we're going into fresh. We know some more of the players. Some of them are our players. So it's really exciting to... we've got a Euros and a World Cup, like pretty much all happening at the same time. So it's awesome at the minute.
No, definitely. I mean, we're just getting used to the idea of having the boys back in the men's team. And it's kind of a novelty, but we've had Arsenal women in the England team for so long. And we just haven't been watching. The sport has just grown so much recently. I mean, it's exciting times. I mean, we've got four call-ups at the moment, which we will get onto later. But it's something a little bit more special about this year. For the first time, 32 teams will compete to be crowned the elite of the elite in the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023 in Australia and New Zealand. So they're both co-hosting. They already both qualify because they're hosting. From where we sit at the moment, we've got four out of 4 wins, plus 32 goals on goal difference. I think we're well and truly on our way, aren't we, G?
I think so. And we've got a new manager as well. So and she's been successful with the Netherlands previously. Obviously, that is her home country. So that's exciting as well. Adds a new sort of perspective to it all. But yeah, obviously, looking back at the last few tournaments, we've been very close. Getting semi-finals, and that's the thing that's sort of drawn the attention to it, is how well they have done. Obviously, that's slowly come into the men's game, but I feel like there's more belief probably in the women's team, and maybe a bit more expectation as well, seeing as we're so used to seeing them being there or thereabouts. Obviously, the next step is to then take it to the final and come back with a trophy, not be runners-up or third, which we have been. So, yeah, it's really exciting, and I hope we can possibly make the next step and bring home some silverware.
No, definitely. I mean, it's been a bit of a tricky time for us the last couple of months with all the injuries that have come through. Most recently, our girl Leah, who's possibly out to the end of the year. Rumour has it, end of the season, which is not good for her. But should we see who we've got coming through for the England team? So we're going to start off with the keepers. So we've got Hannah Hampton from Aston Villa. Got Mary Earps from Manchester United and Sandy McIver from Everton.
Yeah.
We've actually seen Hannah Hampton play against Arsenal. I know this is not an Arsenal show, but I'm going to put my Arsenal hat on for a bit. How do you think she performed, even though she let in, I believe it was 4 again in the FA Cup?
Yeah, it was 4-0, wasn't it? And obviously one of those absolute beauties from McCabe as well. To be fair, not a lot you could do about that really from a keeper's point of view. But yeah, I mean, this is her first time. She hasn't had a cap before. So again, it's a young woman coming into it. She's obviously worked really hard to get her place. I'm not sure. I think in previous years, some of the goalkeepers have been like there 4 years. So they're literally at the very end, if not almost retiring. So now I think it's opened the door as well for the younger girls coming up to literally just do their thing, play their game, and the door's open for England. So it's really nice to have someone brand new. And I think, I might be wrong, but I think I saw an interview today where they were discussing, it was obviously her first time joining the England camp, and she was saying how many she actually she was born with an issue with her eyes or something, and she had to have like so many operations when she was really small on her eyes. So she was saying that how amazing it is that she's even at this sort of levels, considering what she went through as a child. So again, that's another thing and a great story to now see her getting her England caps, hopefully.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm definitely going to have to go and check that interview out now, because it's. I thought I read them all. Main keeper is probably for me is Mary Earps. I've saw her play against United, against Arsenal, I should say. What am I talking about? She plays for Manchester United. And do you know what? She was absolutely incredible. She made some incredible saves against us, and I can see why she's been called up. I'm surprised I'm really, really surprised she kept Miedemar out for as long as she did. But she's a class keeper. I can't complain. With Sandy McIver, I don't really know much about her. I haven't seen her come up against Arsenal yet, but I believe things could get interesting. I'm not sure who the favourite would be to start, but if I had to pick myself, it'd probably be Mary Earps.
Yeah.
Gee, who would you pick if you were going to go and choose someone to start?
Yeah, it would be Mary. We've seen her in goal in the last couple of games as well, haven't we? And she is actually only on 12 appearances. McIver has 1. Like I said, obviously the Hampton is ready for her debut. So again, it's like they're all so fresh and they haven't played for their country too much. So actually, that's probably going to bring a good bit of competition between them all, because it's not like someone's had a number 1 shirt for like 2 years solid and no one can compete. So they're also new to the England setup. So I always think that's such a better factor as well, because they're just going to be competing. They think the shirt is available. No one's name is on it, so they're just going to be working as hard, probably working together, because the girls do have a good bond. But yeah, out of the 3, I would probably go for Mary, just for her experience so far, and we just need to make sure we qualify first.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, as I said, we're top of the group. We've had 4 out of 4 wins, and Austria is the only team we have to play left. So we might be able to go for the 5th, but we'll talk about that later. Next up is our defenders. We've got Rachel Daly from Houston Dash over in the US coming home, Jessica Carter from Chelsea, Millie Bright from Chelsea, Alex Greenwood from Manchester City. We've got Lotta Wobbenmoy from Arsenal, Niamh Charles from Chelsea, and obviously our girl Demi Stokes, who I absolutely loved watching in the Olympics. I thought she was absolutely brilliant. Have you seen much of Demi Stokes at all, G?
Yeah. I think I actually remember a few years ago, I don't know if it's the World Cup or Euros, but they did this like huge reveal day, and it was a real day of like interviews and stuff with all the team that had made the squad, and it was her first time, and now she's pretty much one of the names that's there straight away on the team sheet. She's pretty solid. She can have her moments, but play for the likes of Man City as well. She's around good players, and she's one of the more experienced ones. So we've got a few, again, one debut in Jess Carter there coming up. We got Niamh Charles and obviously Wubben-Moy. They're fairly new to the system. And obviously all the other girls are pretty experienced and have been here a few times. So I think it's actually quite good, especially for defence. It's quite a good little balance between experience and new fresh girls too.
No, definitely. I think I'm looking forward to seeing Lotta. Leah's not around, so could she be a possible pairing with Captain Millie Bright, do you think?
Yeah. I mean, this season she's already doing so well, isn't she? So I think being able to get her chance, she could step up for this game, or maybe sorry. Either one of these games, she could definitely play a little part in it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a case of how is Serena going to choose this defence? Obviously, we've got no Steph Houghton, got no Leah Williamson, who are normally the base of the heart of the defence together, and they're not around. Yeah, no Lucy Bronze either, and they're all injured. And it is a shame. I know City have really struggled with injuries this season, and Lucy is one of them. Sorry, bear with me. There we go. Lots. Right, got our midfielders. We've got our girl, Jordan Nobbs, got from Arsenal, Georgia Stanway from Man City, Jill Scott from Manchester City as well, Kira Walsh from Manchester City, and Katie Zalem from Man United. I really enjoyed watching Katie Zalem when she was playing Arsenal on Sunday. She's quick, she's a fast thinker. There was a volley that was very, very, very good. But Zinsberger managed to get on the end of it and save it. So I'm quite pleased she's got her call up. Of that heart of midfield is Man City. Gee, what do you think of these girls?
Yeah, I mean, those three names really, and Nobbs, Scott, and Walsh. To be fair, Stanway as well, but mainly the other three. They've been thereabouts for quite a few years now. Obviously, Jordan Nobbs, we know how good she is. She's our girl. It's really good to see her back, because I think, especially with the Olympics and stuff, she does tend to just fall short sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes, she has had a fair few bad injuries as well, which have kept her out quite a long time. So I don't know if part of that is she's not been then able to get fit enough to be in the camps, or just the fact that there are so many of the girls and she just slightly sometimes misses out. So it's really nice to see her back in the England squad again. I think it's been a little while. And she has been injured again this year. But yeah, really good to see her back, and hopefully she can be the heart of the midfield like she is for us sometimes. Then we go on to, obviously, Jill Scott, pretty much the veteran of the team. She's just absolutely solid. She's played for England now 153 times.
Wow.
So she's got to be good.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and still going. I think she's missed out on a few as well, but obviously with Man City's injuries playing a key role there, so obviously it earns her place back in the squad as well. Yeah, as you said with Katie as well, she's been really, really good for United, and it's really good to see her get a bit of a chance as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Jordan, when it comes to international duty, Jordan seems to have been niggled by constant injuries. Do you think that this is an opportunity to showcase her talent, to be considered as a regular minutes for the international duty? I mean, it's really it's a showcase to see if she can qualify, like be called up for the Euros, really, isn't it? These qualifiers.
Yeah, exactly. If she, as disheartening as it can be, you have to then be able to bounce back and take your chance when it's given to you again. And she's certainly the type of player. She has the attitude to do that. She's not I don't feel like she's someone that sort of like sulks and won't give her best. She'll always give everything. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to her hopefully getting a start. I would say for both games. She's had a good bit of form. And as much as she can keep it up throughout the rest of the season, she's definitely in with a shout for the squad in the summer.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, obviously they're playing at Stadium Light on the weekend. Jordan's going back. I believe Jill Scott as well is going back to the Stadium Light. What do you think it means for them to be playing for England in their hometown?
Yeah, amazing. And it's kind of a special experience as well, isn't it? Like, I know we don't really play at Wembley, but they are sort of used to being around the stadiums across the country. So for both of them, actually, they, like I've said, they haven't been in the squad for a little bit, and maybe injuries or maybe due to age and trying to get the younger players in. So to be able to come back into this squad this time round, and then the first game is literally their home stadium, I mean, it's pretty special. They're going to have their families there and everyone. So it would just make it extra special, and hopefully they can both get a start for that game as well.
And it's like, I don't know how Serena's going to choose. I really don't, because I wouldn't know where to start with that midfield. There's just so much talent there to choose from. But me being biased, I would put all the Arsenal girls out just because I could. But
yeah,
you
they
can't always do that on an international stage. As much as you want to, you just can't do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's
but
just
they are also playing for the team in form, aren't they? So
yeah,
if you think
definitely.
about that, then they are all playing for Arsenal as well. They're, the rotation is so frequent that they are getting the time, so they sort of do deserve their chance across both the games. Obviously, maybe not all in one, but across both of them, I think they'll definitely get minutes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's pretty much confirmed Millie Bright's going to get her minutes because she's going to be captain for both games. Because they had and when I was reading the interview with her, Serena said to her, "Oh, let's go for a little chit chat," when it was officially announced, and then she was just completely shocked after that, and it's a case of being completely surprised at the same time. But I've got some other good news from the Mr. Arsenal podcast. Frida Manham's just scored for Norway tonight, nice. Which is absolutely brilliant. I know there's a few other games that are going on. I will have a look at the scores later, just so we can see if any of our girls have scored.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, definitely. And lastly, we go on to the forwards. So we've got Ellen White from Manchester City, Fran Kirby from Chelsea, Ella Toone from Man United, our girl Beth Mead from Arsenal, got Alicia Russo from Man United, Lauren Hemp from Man City, and Bethany England from Chelsea, as well as Nikita Paris. So that is just a massive pool of talent. I mean, I didn't exactly catch the England game, but I watched the highlights of the goals, and I've got to say, I don't know how Lauren Hemp hasn't scored yet, as we were talking just before the show. I mean, she's absolutely incredible. The flight, I think it was the 74th minute, she glided through past several players who definitely challenged her. She just danced around them, literally danced with the ball. And they just placed a perfect little cross over to Beth, who volleyed it in back of the net. I mean, that is just something I haven't seen in such a long time. And I was like, oh my God, how did I miss this game?
Yeah.
But it's definitely something special about Lauren Hemp as well as Beth. I mean, it's not just them, it's all of them. I mean, Ellen White, she's heading for her 100th cap tomorrow if she starts. Well,
yeah,
her cap either way, but
that's special.
No, definitely. I mean, I watched her in the Olympics, and the girl couldn't stop scoring. Like, just every time she got the ball, it's just straight in the back of the net.
She's that kind of player that she's always pretty much exactly where she needs to be, but she'll also fight to be there as well. So yeah, she's just got everything. She saved us a lot in the Olympics, and it was so gutting towards the end, because I think she was like top scorer or something as well. So pretty much everything she's involved in, she's banging in the goals. And she's always the name that we come away talking about when it matters, which is so important as well. And again, as we were saying before we went live, she not only is it going to be her potentially 100th cap, she's only 2 goals away from tying with Kelly Smith as the leading goal scorer for England. So she's on 44. The Kelly Smith is on 46. So you can imagine against. Obviously, Austria is the harder game, but then we go into Luxembourg. So I'm really, without being disrespectful, she could potentially at least tie or even smash that record as well. So it's quite exciting as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, the next couple of games are going to be really, really, really exciting. I mean, we play tomorrow. Obviously, we play Austria, and then I believe we play Tuesday. We play Latvia, I believe. I think we beat them. Was it 10-0 we beat them the last time?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was 10-0. Sorry, it was and Latvia. We were just scoring for fun. So I'm definitely going to try and watch that because I'm at Newcastle tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Saturday. So I'm going to miss the game, which is a bit of a heartbreaker. I'm just Nikita Paris. I'm gonna pick on her next. I mean, she's settled in okay at Arsenal, but she hasn't quite found her rhythm yet. I mean, she's stuck on her 49 goals for us at the moment. Do you think she'll be firing on all cylinders for England?
I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it? Because like we've watched a few games together. You know, she's been so close, or it's just slightly hit her leg wrong and not gone in. And sometimes you need a little bit of luck, like a deflection or something to go your way. But then when you also head into England, it can go two ways. You know, she could be there and score a couple of goals and bring that form and confidence back in, or she could score a couple of goals and then come back and it doesn't kind of work. So it's really hard to say. It would be nice, obviously, to see her get a couple of goals and hoping the confidence boost, because she's played a hell of a lot for England. She's one of the names that I have missed off my list, but I'm pretty sure it's around, I think it was around 60-ish, like 62 potentially. I will check later for my facts, but you know, she's still so young as well. She's obviously, for club level, she's gone around a few clubs, but I think her experience that she's got from that and playing in major tournaments for England only makes her stronger. So I think maybe just the patch at the minute that she's going through. So hopefully she can get some time, she can get a goal. I believe in her. She can turn it around.
No, do you know what? I definitely think she will. I mean, at the moment, she's had 1 goal and 3 assists so far for England this year. And do you know what? For a player of her calibre, I do think that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just quickly skimming through. She's had in the 2017 and 18 season, she had six goals and no assists. So I don't think she's doing too badly at the moment for 4 games.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
She's not doing too badly, but she seems to have not, since she's come back from France, I think she's lost her rhythm a bit, to be honest. But I'm sure it takes time to just adjust back to what I believe is the best leagues in the world, which are the WSL, and of course I hold that to the Premier League as well, because I find that there's no tougher leagues in the world. I'm not saying that the other leagues like the women's Bundesliga, the French leagues, or anything are like farmers leagues, but I just think the competition over here is a bit more intense.
I think
the way we play.
Sometimes it's the same with the men as well. It's more the team rather than the league. So there'll be a standout team like Lyon, who have won the Champions League and pretty much win everything every single year. So with us, you know, we've got a couple of teams, like you say, and then there's some more teams coming through and developing stuff. So it's only going to get like better. And we've kind of upped our game, but we had to do that to match the others. So you never really know with the WSL who's actually going to win. It's always kind of like a down to the wire thing, which just makes everything more exciting.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, with the WSL at the moment, it seems once we get that first goal, we want more. And sometimes you're sitting there through the first half and like, come on, get the ball in the net. The last few games have really been like that. And it's like, you got to sit there at halftime and think, yes, they're going to get a goal. Or next, there's still another half. I mean, I don't really want to see another Arsenal and Spurs moment again, to be honest with you. That was a nightmare. That was an absolute nightmare. But it's still a good game. They still haven't beaten us, so it's all good. I mean, back to the girls on the screen. I've seen Ella Toon and Alicia Russo play. I think they're absolutely brilliant. Again, Zinsberger kept them out. So hopefully she won't do it on Saturday.
Ella Toon, obviously she's doing well in the league, making a name for herself as well. But this is class, I think. She's got 6 caps for England and she scored 5 goals.
Wow.
Like that, pretty much almost a goal a game.
Wow.
So she is literally bringing her form from United straight into international and taking it straight back out again. So that's really good to see, actually. I think taking her chance, because like you've said before, Lauren Hemp, she's played like 12 times and hasn't quite yet scored, which is probably quite frustrating for her. I think Ella's record just speaks for itself, and she's going to be a really exciting player going forward.
No, definitely. I mean, as I said, there's just so much talent. You sit there and think, oh my God, these girls are absolutely brilliant. And like, I know I complain about this a lot, but these girls go down and get straight back up again. You don't see them rolling on the floor unless they're really hurt.
Yeah.
we see them trapped on their head and they still get up. And I'm like, how are you still standing?
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit like they're invincible. But
exactly.
I think overall this team just absolutely excites me. I'm hoping the ITV player will let me watch the game back. But you never know.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, hopefully. Is it going to be on? Is it ITV1 now officially?
I believe it is. They haven't. While I was looking at the UEFA website, they haven't actually announced it yet. But if anybody does want to watch any of the Arsenal girls live tonight, if you go to my Twitter page at Lottie B, you will find the links to the other international players. I believe Katie McCade's already is playing, and also Manham's playing. Walty and Merritt's are also playing. But we don't want you to go away. We want you to stay. You can watch them after, if I'm honest with you. So the next thing I really want to talk about is the captaincy. Obviously, Steph Houghton is injured. She's recovering from her Achilles injury still. So City are currently left without their defender. Obviously, Leah, our girl Leah, also has gone down for serious hamstring injury. And Lucy Bronze is still recovering from knee surgery. So that leaves us with the lovely Millie Bright. She's possibly one of the youngest leaders I've probably seen. But she seems to be leading absolutely fine at Chelsea, especially when they're struggling. What do you think that's like? She's 28. Do you think that she can lead England like she has Chelsea?
Yeah, I do. And she's an established player as well. She's got 43 caps behind her, a couple of tournaments too. Obviously, usually partnering alongside Steph Houghton. So, in my opinion, I think Steph's just like such a brilliant player. So to have been through the tournaments alongside her, I think she's definitely, that sort of helped her grow as a player. And obviously going to Chelsea as well. You know, she's playing in the Champions League and stuff. So I think she maybe not the first name that you would potentially think of, knowing some of the names that are in the squad this time round, based on what they've already done for England. But yeah, really nice, like refreshing choice, I think. And like you said earlier about when she sort of found out and she was so like couldn't believe it was coming to her. Yeah. I feel like that's so sweet. You know, she obviously probably has like dreamed of that moment, thought it might be possible, but never expected it to. So I think when she gets that armband around her, she's just going to take it all and give everything to it. And again, I always think that centre backs are such good leaders anyway, because they can see so much of what's going on. And I think she's such a like strong physical player. She isn't afraid to like get her head in there. She isn't afraid to run through someone in order to save a ball. So yeah, really interesting choice, but I'm really glad that she's got the opportunity.
Oh, sorry guys, I do apologise. Let me switch that off. I will be having words with the Canon Chatter team later about that. No, I do really. I am quite excited for her. I mean, it's a massive thing. There's so many big characters in that team at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant. I think the next. Oh, we've got a comment from CN28. Oh, that's a new name in the chat. Welcome. Earps, Daly, Bright, Carter, Stokes, Walsh, Nobbs, Scott, Kirby, Hemp, White as our best lineup.
That's not a bad shout.
Actually, that's not a bad shout. That is really not a bad shout. I think, as much as I hate to say it. I think
very defensive in midfield, though.
Yeah, but thing is, Austria have only let in 3 goals.
Yeah.
They've scored 18. So I really do think that is a really big shout in terms of how we're going. I mean, no, I actually really like that lineup. I haven't actually prepared a lineup because I didn't know where to start. But I'm going to have to go with CN28's one.
Yeah.
And then I think I'd have to super sub in Beth Mead. It has to be done. But for who, I don't know. Who would you take off?
It's so hard. It's like the men in a way. We sort of complain that there's so many defenders and so many attackers, but actually you think you can't leave any of these girls out. And even looking at that, you think, how is 2 not in there? But
yeah,
who do you sacrifice, really?
exactly. I think, I hate to say it, but I'd probably take off Frank Kirby.
Yeah, I probably would.
I'd have to. I can't take off Hemp or White. I want White to smash that record, and Hemp is just, she's absolutely sublime to watch.
I want her to score. It's going to be mad when she scores.
Both of them need to score,
Yeah.
So, no, that's a very good call, CN28. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if you haven't already, hit the like button, and also make sure you subscribe for more content from us. We are going to be doing this weekend in every qualifiers.
Yeah.
Evening, G.
Hey. Double G in the house.
Right. Sorry, guys. Yeah. CN28 defensive, true. But Daly and Stokes will be running up and down that 90. Yeah, they do. They love getting forward. So completely agree with that. So really brings me to the next thing we're actually here to talk about, which is England v Austria. At the stadium light, 12:30 kickoff. It should be on ITV. But obviously I will be watching it back because I'll be watching the boys.
Sure.
So we've got 4 wins, 4 clean sheets. Can we go for the 5th for both, do you think?
I do think so, I think that obviously they are the hardest of the bunch for sure. They have been scoring a fair few amount of goals, and as you say, they haven't sort of conceded very many. Was it 3 you said they've conceded? Yeah. So I think they're going to be very hard to break down, but at the same time, I do think we've got those players to do that. I think it will be a much tighter game than what we've had. Possibly, I definitely think the hardest game so far has been Northern Ireland. I know we ended 4-0, but it was 0-0, and it was a real physical battle in the first half for sure. So I think it'll be something quite similar. And maybe, I don't think it will maybe potentially a 2-0 or something. I think it will be hard, but it's, I think, also one of those games that once the goal goes in, it will not very many are going to flood through unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, no, I can believe that. I mean, I had a look earlier at the group just overall, just to see who our top goal scorers are, and I'm going to have to say this, but the England women were everywhere. They were everywhere, especially under the 2 goals. There's maybe about 5 or 6 of them that have got 2 goals. We've got one. Someone's got 3, but our top 2 from England are, of course, Ellen White and Beth Mead. They're both on 5 each. I've also added Austria's main threat, which is Nicole Biller. She plays for Hoffenheim in the German women's Bundesliga. I'm not sure how to pronounce the first part, so I do apologise for anybody who does watch the women's Bundesliga. So she's made for Hoffenheim herself. She's played 96 appearances. She's had 39 goals, and she's playing top flight football in Germany.
Yeah,
we've actually seen her come to Meadow Park and play against Arsenal. Unfortunately, they did lose about, I believe it was 4-0, if I remember rightly. So we didn't actually get to see her score. But at the moment, she has 7 goals out of 18. Do you think she's going to be up for a goal against the likes of Mary Earps?
Yeah, for sure. They at the end of the day, no one has qualified yet, have they? So every game is still as important as the first. And this is, from their point of view as well, this is the hardest game of the group to play us. And she'd probably really very much like to score. And yeah, I'm not too clued up on the rest of the sort of Austrian team, but yeah, I do think that even if she does score, then that makes it a much more interesting game as well. So it'd be good to see what they're like, because I think we've got to play them twice now, actually, haven't we? In the next
this
year
is the first, because it's a round robin sort of tournament. Yeah. So this is because we're a group of 6. This is our first time we're playing Austria. We've played everybody else.
Obviously, again, because we've played a couple of, obviously we played 4 games so far, but yeah, this is the first time we're playing them, so I think it's going to be one of those games where I'm not sure what really is going to happen. We both need to qualify. We're both going to be up for it completely. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it now.
No,
whenever I can watch it. It's a shame with the timing of it.
Exactly. I'm absolutely furious. I'm so upset about it, but I think it's a case of the men's football being on at the same time. So, and probably Sunderland say play on a Sunday or something, or they're away somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we've already spoke about Ellen White and Beth Mead. I mean, they're definitely going to be. They've got to be up for some goals.
Mm-hmm. You know, like we've said, Ellen is chasing.
I think chasing that record. No, exactly. But I do really think Beth Mead's earned a start from Serena, especially after that hat trick against Northern Ireland. I mean, is there any reason not to start Gee?
No, I don't think so. And her club form as well. I know, as we said, there are so many attacking options, and to be fair, most of them are on quite good form. But obviously, what she did against Northern Ireland, that was our last game, wasn't it? Yeah, it was our last game. So what she's done then, I think that completely earns her shirt and then earns her place to get out there and continue to do it, take her chance, and I fully think she will as well.
You know, no, definitely. I mean, she's just absolutely on form at the moment, even for the Arsenal. I mean, she's had a bit of an issue with the crossbar and hitting the woodwork, but she's had some. Well, that hat trick was sublime. She had a half a volley, a full on volley, and just grabbed hold of a loose ball. It was brilliant. But yeah, no, I think she's going to be a bit of a thorn in their sides if she starts. I think I'm going to have a look at the wider picture now. I think, Gee, but look at the biggest threat in the group, and I really honestly I've got to say it's Austria. I mean, they're the closest ones to us. They've actually never ever qualified for a World Cup.
Oh
no, so they've tried, but they've previously failed. But in 2017, they finished third in the UEFA Women's Championship in the semi-final, which was their first real international competition. So I really do think they'll be up for a fight. And I do think it's. Do you think it's all to play for?
Absolutely. I didn't know that. So that's their first bit of success, really, isn't it? And to get so close again, like us, because we've had that sort of same thing, but we are kind of always thereabouts. So the fact that they've never been to a World Cup before, I mean, it speaks for itself in the men's game when you see smaller countries and they get their chance, you know, and the celebrations and how much it means to them. So they will be up for it, and they will give absolutely everything to be the ones to make history as well. That's the thing. It's not just them; it's the history of the country and the women's game in Austria. So they will really want the opportunity to do that. So it's going to be a really strong physical battle, I think, all over.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think one of the main issues for me about this game that I'm extremely wary of is that the Austrian goalkeeper is Zinsberger. I was going to say something else then. I just stopped myself. Obviously, she's one of our own. She joined us in 2019, so I'd say she has enough experience against all of these girls. She knows them very well. So she plays with Beth. She plays with Nikita. I mean, she's only let in 3 so far, I believe. It might not have been her. I'm not 100%, so apologies if I'm wrong. How do you think she's gonna do?
Oh yeah, she will love it, because I'm thinking pretty much all of our squad do play in the WSL now, don't they?
Oops, sorry.
But a few years ago, we had a few, like maybe in France or a couple in Spain. Yeah. But I think they all do play in the WSL now, so she'll be used to these. She'll be obviously, like you've said, used to Beth and Nikita from training. She might know a little bit of what they're going to do, so that might be a little bit of a worry. If they, she'll know their weaker side. She'll know the kind of goals that they score in training and stuff. So it'll be really interesting. She's on such good form at the minute. Her clean sheets, some of the saves she's pulling off. So yeah, that's why I also think it'll be such a close game, because she's not an easy goalkeeper. She's not an easy player to score against. Yeah, possibly as well part of the reason that Austria are now doing so well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It starts from the back, doesn't it? That's the most important, technically the most important position, and her form for Arsenal and where they are as a country probably just speaks volumes of what she's bringing to the team.
Yeah, no, definitely. I absolutely, completely agree. I mean, even standing there, she just looks scary to me. Yeah. When you do see her smile, she's usually just such a happy person. She's absolutely. I mean, she's had 10 clean sheets this season, so I think she's looking to carry that form on, and hopefully she'll bring it back. If she does, hopefully she won't continue it tomorrow, but she needs to bring
just
that
for the weekend, because she let some go.
Just for Saturday, and then she can have her form back. But I do think Sarina has a very, very tricky choice to make, because obviously she was up in Manchester. She watched both the Manchester girls and the Arsenal girls at the game, and she knows what her team's capable of, or she wouldn't have chosen them. But yeah, no, it's such exciting stuff for like all the girls. I mean, there's so many of them out in different qualifiers at the moment. To get into this World Cup, because out of 158, only 32 qualify, and 2 of those spaces have gone to the hosts. It doesn't matter how well they do.
Yeah,
and it's 30 teams out of 158, and the process it's long and
it is, isn't it?
lengthy. But the best thing for us at the moment is I hope that we qualify. We get that top spot, we qualify, and then we've got nothing to worry about in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Because I looked at how spread out it is, because obviously it's every month. So this will be the last camp of the year. Then we're back again mid-April, and then not again till the very beginning of September. So you think that's almost, like 10 months that they're still playing these games to get through. So I don't know when. Is there a point we already know that if we get so many points we can already qualify? I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure myself. As we said at the beginning of the show, this is all new to us, but we're going for the ride anyway.
I would say probably because we've only played 4 games, maybe looking at like mid-April might be the time where we know for sure going into the last 3 games, or well, actually saying that by the Latvia game on the 30th we might know, so there'll only be 3 left.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, we've still got to go. We've got to play Austria. We've still got to go over there as well. I think at the moment we're really lucky we're at home this time round.
Yeah.
So we've got sort of home ground advantage, especially for our midfield. 2 of our midfielders is extremely home ground advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting, because I'd rather them not go to the playoffs, if I'm honest with you. Because it literally they will pick the best 9 in that second space, and then they've literally got to go to playoffs, 2 single leg knockout rounds, and the best 3 runners up go to another round to determine the 2 additional teams plus 1 team from the Intercontinental Cup. So
it's all very complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, no, they then go on to work it out based on goals, goal difference, goals you've let in, and even to yellow and red cards. It's just so complicated, and I really don't want us to go through that. I really don't.
I mean, one good thing is the goals we have scored.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not sure of the whole picture if the other teams are doing the same. But hopefully that's one thing. I mean, I think we should be absolutely fine to get to that point, really. No. If it came down to it, I'm hoping that the goal difference will get us through.
No, definitely. No, definitely, me too. I mean, I tell you what, let me pull up, I've got open the our actual group at the moment, and I'll just have a quick look through the groups. I mean, obviously we're Group D. It looks very pretty at the top at the minute. 1 second. Add to stream. There we go. Can you see that all right, G?
Yeah.
We're currently sitting top of the group. We look very, very pretty at the top. Played 4, won 4, drawn none, lost none, and we've got 32 goals, which is the highest in the group.
Yeah.
Obviously trailing us Austria and Northern Ireland. I think even if they did level with us, I think our goal difference will help us out quite a bit. So I just really hope they continue scoring. If we hang on a second. Right, if we just have a look at the other groups quickly. I mean, Sweden is at the top of their group. They've got 4 out of 4 games. And they've scored about 8 goals, and obviously they let in 1. But the rest of the group is not doing too fantastically. I mean, Georgia's not doing great. I don't think they'll be going through at all.
Nope.
But Finland and Sweden did play tonight, and I believe the full-time score was 2-1. So,
okay.
Let me just double check. Where did my window go? Sorry, I do apologise. I do actually have all this open. I was keeping an eye on it. Yeah, it was 2-1 to Sweden tonight.
Right.
Katie McCabe's just kicked off in the Republic of Ireland with playing Slovakia.
Nice.
Northern Ireland did win 11-0 in North Macedonia.
Wow.
Denmark have also won tonight against Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah.
Russia have won 4-0 as well against Azerbaijan. Poland have beat Kosovo 2-1. And Belgium are 5-0 up in 17 minutes. Wow. Against Armenia. Wow. And yeah, it's just wow. It's definitely wow.
It's just
wow
goals
at the moment. Yeah, it's just complete and absolutely utter goals. Bear with me. Right. So we're going back to our groups. So at the moment, Group B have only played, some of them have only played 2 games, some have played 3.
Scotland.
Yeah, so Scotland have only played 3 games, so I believe they are due to play in the next couple, either tomorrow. I believe either tonight or tomorrow. It's the same with Spain. Spain are playing tonight as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ukraine women have only played half their games. I'm not too sure why. I can't really answer that. And then, of course, as I expect in the Group C, is this group? Yeah, this is Group C. The Netherlands are top of their group. Our girl Viv is over there. I believe she's been scoring quite a few. They've only got 13 goals in, but they're doing really well without Serena, aren't they, Jay? By the looks of things.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, actually. I was quite surprised when she was announced to be joining us, because obviously that is her home country.
No, definitely. I mean, she's our first non-English manager. So
yeah. And
I think
even a successful team with the Netherlands. But yeah, I mean, it's only a good thing for us. She's got the success behind her, hasn't she? And there's a bit of an advantage, hopefully, for us.
No, definitely, absolutely. I completely agree. But yeah, no, that group's looking pretty good at the moment. I mean, 13 goals scored. Well, the GD's gone down to 12 because they've let 1 in, which is not bad.
Yeah.
And then we've already spoken about, so at the moment we look like we've got the highest goal difference at the moment. Denmark, actually, there's 2 goals difference there, G. That's not just, there's 2.
Oh yeah.
Denmark have scored 30 past Russia, Montenegro, Malta, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Azerbaijan. So I think Denmark will probably go through on the goal difference at the moment.
Russia are quite good by the look of it as well.
Yeah, no, they do look really good.
18 goals, not let 1 in.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. They look like they're doing really well. Oh, here we go. Currently, Norway's currently live at the moment. They're playing Albania.
Yeah. Nice.
I believe Ryan had said that Frida had scored, which is brilliant. And I always love to hear what our girls doing. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But Poland have been knocked off the top. So we'll see. We'll see.
Very close.
Yes, it is very close. I mean, they're equal in points, but it's the goal difference that's back Norway that top spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Belgium were 4-0 up in 17 minutes or 5-0, as I just said a couple of minutes ago. But that is actually
nice.
It's really good. I mean, the goal difference for Poland is quite interesting, though. They've won their games. Well, they've won 3, drawn 2, lost none. They've scored 6, but they've let in 2, so their goal difference is quite low.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Switzerland's got a goal difference of 16 at the moment. They're not doing too bad. Italy are on level points and level goal difference.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think Italy and Switzerland, they actually go head-to-head tomorrow at 7:45. If you do want to watch it, anybody, you can catch Lottie and Meritz playing for Switzerland. So that should be good fun to watch. And then we've got Portugal as expected to be topping the group, but Germany have got more goals.
Yeah,
which is very interesting. But they do have to play one more. Germany are currently ranked. Let me just double check. They're currently ranked 3rd in the FIFA rankings at the moment, so that's actually quite surprising. Then again, they could top their group anyway.
Yeah, easily with that game in hand.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then we look down to the last group, and we've got, of course, you've got France at the top, which is expected from the 5th ranked as well in the FIFA rankings for the better teams.
Yeah,
they actually dropped. No, definitely, no, they do. It's just they look incredible as it is. They're just great to watch in general. I mean, any women's game is great to watch. But I've got a little bit of news. I don't know if you've read any of this anywhere though, G. The Welsh women for Wales are now on equal pay like the men for the football teams. How incredible how incredible is it? And it's a massive milestone for this to happen. I mean,
I kind of think either both Irelands or Republic are the same, because I do remember maybe like a month or a couple of months ago, I remember Katie McCabe's doing something about it. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did see something, and I think the women are for us as well, actually. And yeah, I mean, absolutely, they're both playing at the senior for their countries at senior level, so there's no difference. I know, obviously, the obvious things are the difference between the men and the women's game, but at the same time, they're the highest they can be for their country, so they deserve to be paid for the same, if you agree with them being paid for a start, because there's that thing, isn't there? Should they really be paid? And I think they do pretty much just give it to charity anyway, but that is a start.
It's definitely a milestone.
For your country, that's the start. Obviously, it's different in the leagues, because it is, as much as we would love it to be the same, until it starts building more. And maybe even a few years we might get very close to it. But, certain other aspects have to come in to allow those wages. But yeah, it's an absolute great start and so fully deserved. And it's nice to see in a short space of time all of the countries are sort of going down the same route.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's definitely a milestone for the women's game. I mean, even though it's starting at international level, I do think it needs to start spreading through the WSL, through the German leagues, through the French, Spanish, American leagues, because they deserve the equal pay. Football, how do I put this? Football is football to me. I don't care if it's a woman playing or a man playing. Football is football. I enjoy it either way. And it's definitely a huge milestone. Absolutely huge milestone for the Welsh women. I
feel like this year has really changed throughout everything, hasn't it? We've seen what we've been saying for so long is it's not on we can't watch it. So how do you expect people to get into it? But now, now that Sky have sort of taken it, and actually the BBC and ITV, you know, they've just signed the women are going to be on ITV, which is a brand new thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully more on ITV1 soon, not an odd channel, but the fact that, you know, same channel as the men are. So I think in the last couple of months things have really taken a huge step forward. Throughout all, like I say, throughout everything is on TV more. It's more accessible. It's not just the odd game, the FA Cup that's on. It's the league. It's every team. It's not just, you know, the Arsenal, United, or Chelsea. It's everyone.
No, definitely.
So it's really nice to see for a change.
No, definitely. We've got a really good comment here from Riddy Sakar. It's a new name to the channel. Riddy, if you haven't subscribed already, please like the video and make sure you subscribe so you don't ever miss any England international content from myself and my co-host Georgina. It's a bit of a learning journey for us, but we're very, very excited to get started. So Riddy has said, surely an Arsenal player is going to lift the Women's World Cup. It's all possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, our Socceroos are already through for Australia. We've got the likes of Caitlin Ford. We've got Sam Kerr. Well, Sam Kerr plays for Chelsea. We've got Steph Catley. And those are the three I can think off the top of my head that I know. I mean, surely one of those elite WSL like Super League players will lift that trophy. I mean, I know the soccer over there is quite big for the women, so it's going to be a very exciting time over in Australia, I think, in the summer of 2023.
Yeah.
So, let's have a look at some of these comments. Evening, Matt. Matt's in the house. Northern Ireland doing well, winning 11-0 earlier. Yeah, no, it was brilliant. I'm well pleased for them. It was nice, good for their GD. Got Stephen. We're not Brazil, we're Northern Ireland, but it's all the same to me. Did 11 goals on your goal difference. I'm still sitting pretty in third, though, at the moment. Mike's in the building. Hi, Mike. Evening, girls. How are you both? I'm all right, G. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you.
Matt, there's already a team in the championship paying equal pay in Lose. So it's great to see equal pay in international level as well. No, definitely. I didn't know that. Do you know what? Every time I speak to Matt, I learn something new and I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. So thank you, Matt. You're a star. Like, literally. I learn something new every time. But I'd love to see the gender pay gap just to be erased. Just to make it like, doesn't matter if it's in sport or anything, it just needs to be erased and we're all equal sort of thing, regardless if you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
But it's something that I think it is changing, but just very, very slowly. Oh, nice. I like this one. Oh, God, sorry guys, my mouse has died again. Kate McCabe's just scored 1-1.
Yes.
Hey,
she can't
for the Republic of Ireland.
I
know, Stephen. I love it. I know. I mean, she's just so versatile. I mean, her new signing for Miss Kick as well. She's doing so well at the moment. Honestly, she's picking the right sponsors, and she's inspiring the next generation for the Republic of Ireland, and obviously the Arsenal. But I'm so pleased she scored. She definitely deserves that. Okay, guys, if you've got any more questions, please do pop them in the chat because we're going to wrap up very shortly. Oh, Mike's popped up with something. Mike, the Stevenage women's team have had the same sponsorship deal as the men the last few years, both with Amazon Prime at the moment and the Burger Queen deal before. Oh, that's actually really cool. I mean, the thing is, the Stevenage women, they're playing down in the Championship or League One at the moment, Mike. It's probably why I haven't really heard of it, because at the moment, as we're getting to know it, I'm looking at the top flight. I haven't really looked at the Championship and below. I need to know the top flight before I look at below. Yeah. So that'd be really good to know, I think.
Small steps, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think you can, like, without being disrespectful, you can do that in lower level teams.
Yeah.
You know, you're not expecting Man United to have the same as Man United, really, when they're a brand new team themselves. But those small steps encourage others to think, actually, you know what, we can do that too.
Yeah, no,
it's got to start somewhere. That's the thing, and it looks like it already has, which is just great.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a bit like I don't know if you've looked up Miss Kick at all, but I really do endorse what they do, because most for their power range, it all goes to women's grassroots, and the charity that they have as well is just incredible. Some of the stuff they do. I've done quite a bit of research, but of course my memory has let me down. So we'll definitely talk about that some more on the next episode. I believe we will be back after the Austria game with the Latvia preview, and hopefully we will have some teams, and we'll talk about some teams, and we'll obviously have some lovely guests lined up to join us. But guys, thank you for tuning in for our first ever Road to Australia Stadium. It was absolute blast. Gee, you have been amazing as my co-host tonight.
Thank you.
As always.
I've been looking forward to it all
Normally you're a
day.
guest, but you're my co-host this time, and I really appreciate you coming to join me tonight. No as problem. Always, it's always absolutely a blast. Oh, I've got Mike. Women's National League. That's why. That's really quite cool. Do you know what, Mike? I'm going to have a chat with you after the show and see what we can do.
Yeah.
For some collaboration. Tom, great show, girls. Thank you, Tom. Really appreciate it. Got Stephen. Well done, ladies. Brilliant show. Thank you. And Keith, great show, you two. Amazing strike partnership, by the way. I think we've nailed this now, especially with Albert. Albert's encouragement.
Yeah.
That's it. The strike force are out. We've got the ball rolling.
We're doing it.
Yeah, definitely. And then we've got Mikey. Smashed it, ladies. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, we will see you very soon, and thank you very much.